Planning Commission, we are live.
All right. Thanks, Alyssa. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for tuning into tonight's Planning Commission meeting. I'm Marty Dahl, Community and Economic Development Director for the City of Victoria. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, the City of Victoria is conducting this evening's meeting virtually again tonight. However, even in a virtual setting, we want to make sure that our public meetings continue in an open and transparent manner. During meetings such as this evening's that do not have a public hearing, comments can always be sent to the Planning Commission in advance electronically via email or using our online form. That form can be found at victoria.civicweb.net/portal. You can also email mdahl@ci.victoria.mn.us with comments that will be shared with the Commission. During any future meetings that include a public hearing, we will provide the ability for those wishing to speak to do so via conference call. Quorum of our Planning Commission members are participating in this meeting tonight remotely, and all actions of the Commission will be taken by a roll call vote. Finally, we are streaming this meeting live on the City of Victoria's YouTube channel and are also recording it so it can be viewed again later on demand. And with that, I will turn it over to you, Chair.
Thank you, Marty. Good evening, everyone. First order of business tonight is to call the meeting to order. I guess first, one of those days already for you, those of you that are on the call earlier. So first, I'll start by calling this meeting to order. Our first order of business is to adopt the agenda for tonight's meeting. Members of the Planning Commission, just as a reminder, please state your name when moving and seconding, and please remember to mute your microphones when you are not speaking to avoid any background noise. Commissioners, is there a motion to adopt the final agenda?
This is Laura Moore. I motion that we adopt the agenda.
Thank you, Commissioner Moore. Is there a second?
This is Commissioner Iverson. I second that motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Iverson. Motion has been made by Commissioner Moore, seconded by Commissioner Iverson. I will now take a roll call vote. Commissioner Kuhn?
Aye.
Commissioner Iverson?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Swarting?
Aye.
I also vote aye. Thank you. The motion carries. Our next order of business is to adopt the minutes from our December 15th, 2020 Planning Commission meeting. Commissioners, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
This is Commissioner Iverson. I move that we approve the previous Planning Commission meeting minutes.
Thank you, Commissioner Iverson. Is there a second?
Commissioner Swarting, I second that motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Swarting. I have a motion made by Commissioner Iverson, seconded by Commissioner Swarting. I will now take a roll call vote. Commissioner Kuhn?
Aye.
Commissioner Iverson?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Swarting?
Aye.
I also vote aye. Thank you. The motion carries. We will now move on to our discussion items. We have 2 items on the agenda this evening. Our first item is item 3.1, adopt the 2021 Planning Commission meeting calendar. I will now turn the meeting over to our Community and Economic Development Director, Marty Dahl, for his staff presentation. You have the floor, Marty.
Thank you, Chair, members of the Commission. This may be my shortest presentation to date on this item. We do have, as was shown in your background packet, we are again proposing to have Planning Commission meetings held the first and third Tuesday of each month with a start time of 6 p.m. As of right now, we are intending to have all advisory commission meetings virtual at least through the end of January. So we will have a minimum of 1 more virtual meeting, and then we will reassess at the end of the month. As always, those meetings may be changed or canceled with advance notice, and there is no meeting currently scheduled for Tuesday, August 3rd due to Minnesota Night to Unite. And with that, staff would recommend that the Commission adopt the 2021 meeting calendar.
Thank you, Marty. Commissioners, any discussion on this item? Going once.
I just had one quick question. What is the August event that was referenced? What is that?
It's also referred to as National Night Out in August. So typically we have a contingency of staff and public safety that goes out to neighborhood parties. So it's usually a non-meeting night.
Makes sense.
Commissioners, any other commissioners have any questions? If not, I will ask, is there a motion to adopt the 2021 meeting calendar?
This Commissioner Iverson, I move that we adopt the 2021 Planning Commission work plan, or meeting calendar, rather.
Perfect. Can I have a second?
This is Commissioner Moore. I second.
second.
Sounded like there were two, but I heard Commissioner Moore. So I have a motion by Commissioner Iverson. It's seconded by Commissioner Moore. I will now take the roll call vote. Commissioner Kuhn?
Aye.
Commissioner Iverson?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Schwarting?
Aye.
I also vote aye. Thank you. The motion carries. Our next item is item 3.2, adopt the 2021 Planning Commission work plan. Again, I will turn this over to Marty Dahl for the staff presentation. Marty?
Thank you, Chair, Commissioners. This one is a little bit longer, but not by much. As you know, the Victoria City Council requests that the Planning Commission adopt a work plan annually to guide the tasks of the commission. So as was included in your background packet was a bulleted list of what that work plan is proposed to entail for 2021. I'll just quickly run through those bullets. So first, and obviously to hear and provide recommendations on any plats, plans, variances, or other planning land use applications as they come in. Second, to continue review and provide recommendations for the Central Business District parking ordinance. Third, to review and provide recommendations for the tree preservation and replacement ordinance. This was something that was on our work plan last year, but we just didn't get to it with the other things we were working on. A couple of new additions to review potential ordinance additions and amendments for downtown placemaking standards. This is something we're hoping to start bringing to the forefront here later this year. Some thoughts and ideas for placemaking, especially as we hopefully move closer to our downtown west development and how to provide signage and placemaking and wayfinding to show folks their way around the downtown area. Next is to conduct a follow-up and provide recommendations based on the small area plan or the Victoria Works plan as development moves closer. As you know, we've got a couple of residential developments in that south growth area that are in the early stages of their process, and if and when those developments are approved, that inches the city closer to that south area plan area. So will hopefully become a reality sooner rather than later. We also have noted to review our residential and PUD zoning standards and provide any recommendations for amendments or to keep the same with that. Review and provide recommendations on any other zoning code areas as they are presented. The second to last bullet, address any planning and zoning related goals that may be developed in the 2021-2022 City Council strategic plan. So as you probably recall, many of our goals came from the 2019-2020 strategic plan, and with a new council coming on board, the intent is to hold another strategic plan meeting later in Q1 of this year. So there may be some additional or new goals that the council would like the commission to look at and review based on that strategic planning session once that is held. And then finally, one other new item to the work plan this year, and this was a request from our city manager who just wants to make sure that our commissions and committees continue to remain engaged with the city council. So we're looking for all commissions and committees to provide a mid-year and end-of-year progress, not necessarily report, but maybe a 5 to 10 minute update at a council meeting in mid-year and end of year, just to talk about the things that these important bodies have done. So we'd likely be looking for the chair or vice chair of our commissions or committees to conduct that, and that would be scheduled well in advance. So those are the areas. I'm happy to take any questions. Otherwise, I will turn it back over to you, Chair.
Commissioners, any questions or discussions?
Just a quick question, Marty. Would variances be part of those to-dos? I don't think I saw anything that fell underneath that
Yes,
category.
that was included in that first bullet. Yeah, first bullet. So of course, any land use applications, plats, variances, CUPs, anything that this body is charged with reviewing and approving.
Thank you. I'm sorry I missed that.
No worries.
Marty, can you leave that up for a second? So typically, or it's been my experience, you know, for example, continue to review and provide recommendations for the Central Business District parking ordinance, and then the next one down, review and provide recommendations for tree preservation and replacement ordinances. It seems like we kind of tackle these ordinances kind of, you know, one after the other. And now, since we're back to the 2 meetings per week, and occasionally we don't have a lot happening, so we skip a meeting. Is it possible we could, you know, it kind of ties in with an effort to maybe even provide a better progress report to the city council, where we could kind of combine some of these and work on a couple different projects at one time?
Sure. Yeah, I think we absolutely can do that. I think in fact, my intention was to try to bring some of these forward concurrently last year, but the shoreland ordinance took a little more time and effort than I think any of us were maybe anticipating. But yes, hopefully with some of these, we can discuss multiple items in a meeting or in a month, or rotating meetings or that sort of thing, to try to continue to work through versus having to put all focus on just one of those items at a time.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail right on the head there. I think even rotating, because I know, like Central Business District, I know, you know, we get into those big discussions and comparing it to the shoreland. You know, there's a tremendous amount of work that staff has to do in preparing, you know, the next report or something. So, you know, just rotating might kind of free up a little bit more time and then allow us to do a little bit more at the same time. So it's a great thought. Thanks.
Certainly.
Any other questions or discussion points, commissioners?
This is Commissioner Kuhn. One quick question. Since the Lakes and Water Commission has been disbanded, where does that fall under? Does that fall under us or Parks and Rec?
Yeah, so we anticipate that that will become a focus area in that City Council strategic planning meeting. So I think the intent would be to bring up those topics, some of the things that had been discussed in that meeting, to determine priorities of the council. And then I think it will likely vary. I think if it's a lakes and water quality land use planning type issue, it could probably fall to this body. If it's more related to a park or recreation activity, it may fall to the Parks and Recreation Committee.
Anyone else? Any questions? Sounds good. In that case, if there's no kind of a last chance for any final discussion. All right. I'm going to assume from the silence that there is none. In that case, is there a motion to adopt the 2021 Planning Commission work plan?
This Commissioner Iverson, I move that we adopt the 2021 Planning Commission work plan.
Is there a second?
This is Commissioner Kuhn. I second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Iverson, seconded by Commissioner Kuhn. I will now take a roll call vote. Commissioner Kuhn?
Aye.
Commissioner Iverson,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Schwarting.
Aye.
I also vote aye. Thank you. The motion carries. Moving on to miscellaneous section. Are there any miscellaneous items from the staff this evening?
One thing from staff, Chair, the city clerk will be opening in the next week or so the recruitment for advisory commission and committees that those term years end on March 31st of every year. So we do have 2 regular member seats that will be, their terms will be expiring this year, Chair Stensland as well as Commissioner Gar. So of course, both are always encouraged to reapply if they so choose. Otherwise, we will be looking to fill those seats with others, but that you'll likely see that recruitment process and some communications on that opening up here soon. And if you know of any folks who are interested in either Planning Commission, Parks and Recreation Committee, or we are working on debuting a new Senior Cares Committee to talk about senior related issues if there is enough interest. So once you see that information come out, feel free to share with folks you think might be interested.
Great. Commissioners, any miscellaneous items? Quiet bunch tonight. Okay, if there are no more items to come before the commission tonight, commissioners, is there a motion to adjourn?
This is Commissioner Moore. I motion that we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Commissioner Kuhn seconds.
Thank you. I have a motion by Commissioner Moore, seconded by Commissioner Kuhn. I will now take the final roll call vote. Commissioner Kuhn?
Aye.
Commissioner Iverson?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Schwarting?
Aye.
I also vote aye. Motion carries. Thank you. We are adjourned. Okay, at 17 minutes, that has to be a record. Not that we're trying. We don't
Unheard
wanna-
of.
This is not